Hey everybody, so I'm gonna be telling you why I am leaving my HBCU. I'm leaving Tennessee State University. I'm gonna tell you what happened in order for me to have been leaving, and then I'm gonna tell you like the pros and cons of going to HBCU. First of all, let me say the pros first. So the good thing about going to a HBCU or whatever, especially if you're black, is because you get to go to class, you have black students, you have black people on campus, you feel comfortable to be yourself, you feel comfortable to wear what you want to wear. Because sometimes when you're not around your people or whatever, you might not feel as comfortable being yourself as you would like at a PWI as a black person. So you definitely like comfortability and like free to be yourself. Then of course the atmosphere is great. They play urban music, you know what I'm saying? They have Courtyard Wednesdays, Fried Chicken Wednesday. They just have, it's the atmosphere. The atmosphere is great. I feel like the experience is great. I kind of do regret going there, but not because of, I kind of regret going there because of academic wise, but like building relationships and like the experience, I don't regret going.
Boy, I wanna do a song with J. Cole too. I'm from the streets of no knowledge. Kids down with books in their hands, ain't no college. Niggas sliming out their best friends they thought was solid for less than a wallet. They feminizing our kings, rappers wearing nail polish just to make they sales rising. I thought you was a man, I thought you was a leader in this world against the clan. I guess you just another monkey with a switch in your hand. Let me hand you a banana so you can kill your best friend. Could've been your best man, nigga look just like you. But because you rep another hood, the nigga wanna fight you. Could've made a team and won a ring when Pippen met Michael. But we hate our own brothers, it's a never-ending cycle. We kill our own stars, we rather see a nigga catch a bus than own cars. It's hard to love success when you struggle so hard. Imagine doing 40 years behind them cold bars. You completely innocent, but just was at the wrong part. Guilty by your skin, couldn't find the suspect, all of a sudden you his twin. I only seen the pastors and the hustlers drive Benz, while everybody else high on hope, trying to win. Not my boat, nigga, not my bin. I stop trapping and I died in. Mama on coke, ain't chucking no flow, it ain't no soap, but the whole kitchen. Then it ain't broken, it wasn't no show. Why you think the little boy think that's a grown man? Can't even spell, but he wanna spin in this direction with my people in. Fucking keep rapping about diamonds and fucking keep rapping about murders and sin. Fucking keep rapping about scamming again.
Every day I wake, I make my mind up. I'ma be the one, be the truth, be the way. Yeah. Every day I wake, I make my mind up. Gotta keep my mind on the because they only telling their side of the story. Out here telling lies like they on.
Peace to the party. It's your homeboy back again with the news. So you see what it is for the day on a Friday. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy, I got you covered, man. Got some topics we're going to talk about today. We're going to get to Tennessee voted to remove the Tennessee State Board of Trustees. And we also going to talk about Dane Dash. You know, he was in the media at the Valuetainment Network, and basically, he hinted to some culture vulture information. So, anytime we got a chance to take a dig at this media and this industry, we're going to do it. So we're going to get to that, but we're going to start off in Tennessee, right? You seen the video coming in. We had a young sister, I believe her name is Kelly. Shout out to her YouTube channel. I'm going to plug in the comments, all right? But basically, we got to go get the word on the street, man. We got to see what's really going on, because a lot of times stuff gets shaped to us, but we don't know what's really going on if you're not from that area. But there's a lot of similarities that we can gauge from this that we need to talk about, because I don't think the whole, excuse me, y'all, I don't think the picture of HBCUs has been painted properly. And we need to, within our own community, we got to keep it real. if we really say that we want something better to happen, then we can't just talk about it. We got to actually have we do need to talk about it, but in an unbiased way. We just need to judge it by the facts, not get emotional because it's so-called tied to our ancestors, right? So we're going to get to that. So starting off in Tennessee, right? The board basically is saying that they want the board of trustees out there, the people who are in charge. So I want to go, let's hear what the other side got to say, and then we'll come back and break it down.
House Democrats thought that they had a compromise, that only half of the members would be vacated, the other half would be kept for continuity purposes. Evidently, that's not what happened.
But now at the 11th hour, we're going to pull this.
Tennessee House Democrats thought they had brokered a compromise.
And there was an agreement that 3 members of the board who were appointed by the governor would be vacated.
Then Republicans reversed course.
If they can't manage it, then we need to find people who can.
They decided to completely replace all 10 members of the TSU Board of Trustees.
The buck stops at the top. The people who are in charge of managing the organization are responsible.
Much to the outrage of Nashville lawmakers.
So why are we picking on TSU?
The optics of this today are awful.
The HBCU has been under the microscope for years after several audits found issues with overpromising housing while under-delivering on record keeping.
That they kept accepting students in for which they didn't have housing.
And now a new independent audit released Thursday found that while TSU was not guilty of any fraud, they did find 56 observations and 60 recommendations that bring up concerns. Those include not being able to reconcile all their finances and being unable to keep accurate accounts of student scholarship funding.
I-66, 25 names.
Speaker Sexton says a bipartisan group actually tried to avoid vacating board members altogether.
At first, there was no legislation. Board members were going to resign.
In conversations, things did not go the way that I guess some of the members wanted to have happen. And as a result, they chose that route.
Republicans claim when other attempts at compromise fell through, they decided they had no choice.
If we don't put a line in the sand, you've gone enough, we would be derelict in our duty. This has been going on for years now.
And now that Democrats have no choice, they say they'll do all they can to keep TSU moving forward.
We are deeply concerned, of course, about the effect it'll have upon the administration, students, and the direction the school is trying to go and to rectify some of the concerns that were raised in the audits.
Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
So you see what they're saying, right? And for those of y'all who really want to do the research, the audit from the state of Tennessee is in the description. So you can go check it out for yourself. Remember, over here, we ain't just talking out of our ass now. We do our research and we just reporting on what we find. So as your homeboy with the news, you know I'm going to do what I do, but we also providing the resources for you to go look at it for yourself, because it's important that you make your own judgment, especially if this has affected you and you are in this state. But this is happening in a lot of places, right? But I'm going to keep it real with you. Man, these HBCUs is ran terribly, bro, for the most part. Like, we talking, don't give me your one-offs. I'm from Louisiana, like y'all know, right? So HBCU, Southern Grambling, super popular. So as I grew up, I've been to these campuses. I was a part of events. This was in our culture, right? As you heard in the video, the young sister, she was talking about the culture. That's what gets you there. But really, that's all you end up getting at a lot of these schools, bro. It ain't no secret what's been going on, the way the facilities looking, and they keep wanting to blame the government. But what about the people in charge? Because the actual people who have been a part of these HBCUs, they be saying another thing. So I want to go back to the young lady. I want y'all to hear from her. She a current student right now. This video was probably like 4 months ago. All right, so let's hear from her, and then we'll come down. Chop it up in the comments. If you went to a HBCU, let us know your experience, good or bad. We just want to have a conversation, but maybe these board of trustees being taken out, maybe that ain't a bad thing. Because, I mean, shit, clearly they ain't been handling business. But let's go hear what she got to say.
When I would actually ask questions, because I wouldn't ask often, but when I would actually ask questions, that's like the response I would get, and it would take hella long for them to email back. I had some teachers that's like I said, it's like they're reading off a script. So I have a teacher now, I'm not gonna say nothing, like, you know what I'm saying? But I have a teacher now where she's using somebody else's curriculum, and she'll be like, oh, I don't really understand what she mean, the way she put it, but blah, 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 blah. Like, she's reading off of her stuff. Like, she's not even a real teacher. I feel like they just took anybody with a degree and was like, here, I, like, teach. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know how to I didn't even know how to get tutoring or none of that. Like, I didn't know how to do nothing, y'all. So, now let's get into my advisement and all of that. So, when I would go to my advisor, she would do stuff like, oh, are you sure you want to do nursing? Like, are you sure that's what you want to do? Do you have a plan B? Do you have another major you might want to do? Like, are you sure you can get good grades? Are you getting good grades? Like, are you sure? Like, she was basically, she was trying to, like, I feel like she was lightweight, like, trying to make it seem like I'm not capable of being successful in the nursing program. And that's not you're not advising me to do anything. She was basically like, I feel like she was discouraging me, like, you won't be able to do it. So it's like, if my own advisor don't believe in me, why would I believe in myself? Like, my own advisor don't believe in me, type stuff. So I listened to her and I changed my major to biology, y'all. By the way, she did not let me know that I was ineligible for the nursing program after I had got that D in human anatomy. She did not tell me that I was ineligible for the nursing program anymore. I went on my own and decided to change my major to biology because I was like, okay, I could just go to medical school, because my dream job is well, it was, because no more. My dream job was to be a plastic surgeon, so I was like, I could just go to school for plastic surgeon and just go to medical school, just do biology, pre-med or whatever. So I changed my major on my own, but when I did that, I instantly regretted it. And over the summer, like, I had changed my major right before we went to summer, and over the summer I was emailing and trying to do all types of stuff to change my major back, and I was trying to get my scholarship appealed, which I didn't get it appealed. They denied me. So, and then when I was trying to, they took hella long to email back. It was a lot of confusion, a lot of, like, too much to get back into the nursing program or whatever. So I would just make the decision that I was gonna leave. Now I'm gonna get into, like, administration and stuff. About the administration, y'all, the administration is terrible. They will take you through loops and hoops to get done something very simple, something very easy that they could have done themselves. Like, basically, the administration gets paid to not do their job because they don't do their job and they have an attitude when they have to do their job. Like, I'll give y'all an example. When I changed my major to biology, I had to get added to this class. I didn't have an English class, I think, so I was trying to get her to add me to a class. When I came inside the keen or whatever, I was standing in front of her. She didn't have nobody. She wasn't helping nobody. She was sitting there typing on her laptop. So I was standing in front of her. I didn't sit down right in front of her. I was standing in front of her. And I was standing for like 5 minutes and she wasn't saying nothing. So I was like, excuse me, I need help, but I didn't know if you were busy or not. And then she responded and said, I'm always busy. I'm like, okay. And then I told her, I was like, I need to get added to a class or whatever. She was like, it's no way on God's green earth that they will allow me to add you to a class. Yeah, I promise to God, I didn't come to her with no attitude or none of that. Like, she just straight off the bat had an attitude, and I was like, huh? So she's like, it's no way on God's green earth that I will be able to add you to a class. And I'm like, okay, but I need to get added to the class though. And she was like, well, I can't do it, basically. Like, basically no help. So I was like, okay, you know what? And I just got up and I walked away. I didn't say nothing. I just got up and I walked away. That's just an example of, like, how they don't want to do their job. Like, or let's say one time I didn't get added to that class or whatever, so I went to somebody else to get added to a class, and once I went to them, I asked them, could they add me to a class? Then they like, oh no, you need to go to this person, they can add you to the class. So it's like, they don't do their job. Like, they gonna send you on the wild goose chase to get a simple thing done. Like, y'all could have just logged in and added me to the class, but instead you're gonna send me on a wild goose chase to add me to one simple class. It's like, they get paid to do absolutely nothing. I think that's a TSU thing though. Well, people say that's an HBCU thing, but TSU got that bad. They send you around the world to get something done, and then they have an attitude when they actually need to do their job. Then on top of that, y'all, the buildings and stuff are very, very old, but they said that they were holding money from TSU. They said they're supposed to get like $2 billion or something that they didn't get. So I don't know, maybe it's because of that, but they've been building new dorms and stuff. So it's like they have money to build new dorms, but not upgrade what they already have. So I don't know, that's really some BS. But Yeah, but the buildings and stuff are very old, like especially in like the dorms. The dorms are terrible living. Like they and in the buildings it's either heat or AC. It's not both. You can't turn the temperature down and then it blows air, and then if it gets cold you can turn the temperature up. It's not like that. It's either you get heat or you get AC. It's not in between. It stinks sometimes, like they have leakage, and it's just like very old and disgusting the way that you have to live in these dorms. Yeah, it's
So
So you hear what she say, right? She going through, the gripes that she had with the school. Some of the gripes have to do with the class work, feeling like the advisement is not up to par, just feeling like, not being guided, right? You away from your people. You out here at college, you amongst your own, right? So you thinking that you're going to get this care and, you feel me, to help guide you, get this networking going. And it's really it's not going on. That's the whole purpose, really, that you would want to go get a higher education. You just shouldn't be going to get any random degree. Need to have a plan. And the people advising you need to be putting you on the money, need to be helping you network. Hey, you should be focusing on these areas. This is how much, what I mean? Like preparing them for the future. But then besides that, you got the facilities. Why is this shit so trash, man? That don't make no sense to me. Why is it 2024 and they still dealing with these dorm situations, the old buildings, the learning? A lot of these other schools look state of the art, man. And I ain't talking about just the big D1 schools. Random schools around the country, and you'll pull up on them and they look pretty good. So I'm not understanding how are these long-standing HBCUs having an issue, even if you haven't been receiving the same amount of funding as other schools. Okay, bet we can go ahead. We know that to be true in certain instances. However, with the money that has been allocated, because these schools get money from the same sources that the other schools, the PWIs, get. But what's going on here is has to be some negligence involved for y'all not to be able to have figured something out. And this is not just Tennessee State. This is several different HBCUs. If you've been to one, whether it just be frequenting it, visiting, supporting somebody else, or you was actually enrolled there, tap in the comments, man. Let's talk about this, because if it's been bad, who do you target? You got to target the people at the top. You don't just get the teachers. The teachers buy into the culture. The professors, you feel me? All that come as a part of the school structure, but that's not their job to make all that happen. So look, it's crazy. So they saying this is what's going on. Facilities look old, right? We didn't heard stories, right? When Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, was at Jackson State, he alluded to mismanagement within the funds, right? Ed Reed, when he was down with that coaching job for that short stint of time, facilities, right? The people in charge. Everybody just can't be lying, bro. You got several student alumni who have different suits against Board of Trustees. Go look this up now. I ain't got time to cram it all in no news episode, but I done did my research. So y'all tap in and go see what's really good. But I want to go read something that was pretty interesting, right? Master P, he has a son that was going to Tennessee State, right? But he pulled out at the last minute. And we're going to read a little bit of this because it sounds contradictory to what Tennessee State and the Board of Trustees say actually going on. So hold on, let me get situated and pull this up, and we're going to get to it. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. We struggle streaming right now. But yeah, so in this article, he had his son committed to Tennessee State. Out the blue, he pull him, right? And so obviously they interviewed him, but a lot of people ain't want to talk about this in our community because it made the HBCUs look bad. Same thing with Deion Sanders, but we got to talk about it because real is real. So it's a Master P says son Hersey Miller leaving Tennessee State because Tennessee State basketball because of lack of medical resources. Master P is committed to leveling the playing field for historically black colleges and universities. But for now, his son, Hersey Miller, is transferring from the Tennessee State basketball program. Hold on, let me switch this view real quick. Lack of medical resources within the athletics department. Master P, whose real name is Percy Miller, said his son did not receive proper medical attention after suffering a hip injury in the Tigers' first game of the season, November 9th, against Alabama A&M, and an improper diagnosis nearly led to the end of Hersey's playing career. We've got a great program at Tennessee State. We've got great people. We love the culture. We just don't have enough trainers, Master P said. We don't have enough medical people to take care of what needs to be taken care of. We don't have the technology that the Dukes and all these other major universities have. An injury like this could have been prevented. All right, so Master P told the Tennessean on Tuesday he does not blame the medical staff at TSU and instead blames the disparity in medical resources between major universities and HBCUs on an overall lack of funding. Earlier this year, a report by the Office of Legislative Budget Analysis estimated TSU had been underfunded by as much as $544 million in land grant funding over the years. However, now this is key. However, TSU athletics department officials told the Tennessean the school's sports medicine department, which includes 7 full-time sports medicine employees, isn't understaffed or underfunded compared to schools its size. Okay, the issue is not that we're underfunded at all. TSU director of sports medicine Trevor Searcy said it's actually the opposite. The issue is that since athletics director Mickey Allen has been here, we've been growing, and when you grow, your facilities have to grow as well, and that's what we're in the process of doing now. However, Master P said he was never comfortable with TSU's medical staff during Hersey's time there and is perplexed by officials who are satisfied with the status quo. How can we help HBCUs if we're going to sugarcoat the truth? Then we are failing the next generation, he said. What do we need to fundraise for if staff members are saying we have everything we need? So this is what I'm saying. How does all this, it don't even add up. One side, the school's saying we don't got enough money, but then you got certain sectors of the school saying that we got all the money that we need. The problem is it just takes time. Basically what they're saying. They got the money, but they're trying to use it. So which one is it, bro? You feel me? If you've been underfunded, but another side of this is saying we got all the money in the world, but the people actually experiencing it are saying that they just having a bad. That's the one thing that's common. You got plenty of parents and students speaking out against this, but we know in the black culture, we ain't supposed to talk about this because it make the HBCUs look bad. But what about all the kids who going out here, right, experiencing this and it's ruining their life? All they doing is going to school to turn up, but they ain't coming out with nothing but some debt and probably some other shit. You feel me? Because our culture toxic right now. This wasn't some shit. This was promoted to us. School was another way. College was another way to get us in. You feel me? And it's more of a way to indoctrinate the mind, especially if you're not being guided, because school is business, right? So that's what it is, man. You know, I want to know what y'all think. Is it a good thing the board of trustees being removed, or is the state tripping? Let me know. Because, you know, I think the HBCU as a whole needs some work on the back end, the infrastructure of how shit being ran. And this just ain't from my opinion. This was from doing my research. There's several others who feel the same way who actually went to the HBCUs. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our next topic. Let me hit y'all with a little commercial real quick. Then we'll be right back.
Niggas, the top 5 lister, double S drifter, separate sipping, and you know I came with it if she cute with it.
Bitch ass thiefed out. I tried to sign the firm, so I was trying to get the firm that record in Reasonable Doubt, the AZ. Now I was supposed to show up for that record, but he didn't. But I was trying to give the firm a deal. I was trying to get the whole. That's why I had signed Clue. But, again, I tell my ideas, and Steve Stout, being the bitch that he is, he would go around my back and do the deals, And,
So this right here is Dane Dash breaking down culture vultures. So he leading into it. He over there on Valuetainment with Patrick Beck David. It was a pretty good interview. They went back and forth, you know what I'm saying? But basically, Dane getting to the point about speaking on how these, he called them culture vultures, right? But it's really the other side, how they infiltrate our platforms and then pick out who the leader's gonna be. So let him talk about that.
These are the guys that the problem in that business is a lot of non-creative people take advantage of creative people, and they steal the creative people's ideas and then go and sell them to the devil. The devil's money. You know what I mean? And that's what I didn't use. I never used to use the devil's money, and I still won't.
Who's the devil's money?
Whoever's not creative that's exploiting an artist.
Like a Leo Cohen type of guy?
Definitely Leo Cohen. He's a culture vulture. I made the term up just for him. You know what I mean?
Did you hear what he said about you on Charlemagne?
Years ago? Yeah, I've been punishing him for that. I benched him. He used to be in the music business, so now he has to sit.
You're talking about this one here?
Yeah, where he
says, "Who is Dame Dash?" I don't know who Dame Dash.
So usually, what happens algorithmically, another culture always tries to erase another culture that they're trying to empower's history, so that all their leaders they make don't exist. So that's exactly what they do. They try to erase our history. But the thing where he had the gall was that he did it on one of what's supposedly our platform in front of our people, and he did it so recklessly that he was unconscious that we were all watching. So to sit there and say, Damon, I don't know him, what are you saying when he's not around? You're trying to act like he doesn't exist because you want to take credit for everything that he did. And that's what Steve Stout did, and that's what Lior does. If I'm a person that won't let you rob an artist and your business model is robbing artists, of course you're going to try to paint the picture of me doing things I'm not, or being difficult, because I'm difficult for you.
Rob,
I don't let you rob the artist.
Can you play the second half of that? Just press.
So we all remember, well, I ain't going to say we all. If you hip to it, Leo Cohen went on the Breakfast Club. Dane Dash came up. He straight up disrespected the man on what's supposed to be a black platform. Now remember, Dane Dash also had a very popular moment where he was challenging them, basically saying, y'all don't run this network. Y'all just employees. And a lot of people tried to spin it as if he was downplaying Jaws. But what he's saying is, in their particular field, you are making other people money, and it's bigger than the money. They also control who and who you can't talk to, what topics you can talk about. So y'all taking that route, but then want to come and try to downplay because they play into the bullshit. Because why would you even have this man on there to speak against him like that? And Charlemagne act like he tried to buck, but really he was in respect and awe of this man. They let him get off with the updue respect. It's crazy how that work out, but you notice Dane Dash say basically they craft the leaders or who they want to be, and then they outcast the ones who gonna speak up, the ones who ain't gonna just go along, right? So this is real life and what's really going on. We didn't pointed this out within TV series, within movies, within politics, within the rap game. Everything that get influenced to us in the black community is already narrated out for us to feel and react a certain way. But I want to know what y'all think, man. We're going to always tap in. That was a great interview. Y'all go check that out. But, I want to know what y'all think about it. Do you believe culture vultures really exist? Is this just another conspiracy theory? And what's up with them board of trustees? Do they deserve to get removed? And if so, should other schools follow suit who ain't performing at this HBCU level? Because it's really the kids that's getting affected at the end of the day. All right, so hey, I appreciate y'all tapping in. Definitely like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here till next time, y'all. Peace.
This is all the love I had. I can't get it back, I won't get it back, Gave all the love I had. One motherfucking three, nigga. I can't get it back, I won't get it back, can't get it back.